some answers will be needed. We'll find it.
I should have died years ago.
Fantasy Island time.
The ability to use echolocation.
Now, enjoy the show at AMC.
Fantasy Island. So I saw Fantasy Island. I honestly liked the trailers of this movie. I wasn't expecting anything great. I was just expecting something fun. And a few moments, or actually, you know what, a few minutes before walking in this movie, I realized that this is from the same director of Truth or Dare, which not only do they share not a similar premise, but like kind of like similar stakes, if that makes sense, and a similar main character, or at least the same actress who plays the main character, Lucy Hale, which we'll talk about her in a second. I thought The Truth or Dare was a really bad movie, but it was a really bad movie where I had a lot of fun watching it. I loved watching that movie. I love Truth or Dare, no matter how terrible that movie is. But I even bought the Blu-ray for Truth or Dare. Like I actually, there's just one day where I bought the Blu-ray for Truth or Dare, and it was like 1 a.m. and I just wanted to watch something stupid and I just wanted to make fun of something. And I put in Truth or Dare. Like honestly, Truth or Dare is like the Room of horror movies. Like I just love watching that movie, no matter how horrible it is. But I was hoping that at least Fantasy Island could be that. It could be that movie where it's not good, but you have a lot of fun watching the movie because there are a lot of idiotic stuff, stupid ass stuff happening in the movie. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Unfortunately, not Truth or Dare. Fantasy Island was neither of that. It wasn't a good movie. Either was it a so bad it's so good type movie. Like there's no other way to sugarcoat it. Like it's just Fantasy Island is a really bad movie. The story is honestly really generic, and it's nothing that we already haven't seen before. It was predictable, and surprisingly, it was also boring. And it was just like really dumbed down. It's a dumbed down version of Truth or Dare, and I think this movie was PG-13, and I think that Truth or Dare was PG-13 as well. And that movie had much more fun and not exactly gory, but a lot more fun depths in that movie than this movie ever had. And I'm surprised that this movie just went nowhere. Like I was honestly waiting for something to happen within that nearly 2 hour runtime. We were like an hour and a half into the movie, and I was like, shit, like nothing has happened in the movie yet. And if the next 20 minutes of this movie are going to be the same, then it's a pretty bad movie. Because nothing happens in this movie. Nothing is earned. Nothing is received, nor nothing is earned. And I thought that almost all the characters in this movie were lousy. I really had a hard time connecting with any of these characters. I did not like Lucy Hale in this movie, and I liked her in Truth or Dare. I thought she was one of the better parts of that movie, but I did not like her in this movie at all. And every other character is they're just flat two-dimensional idiots. Like honestly, I honestly did not like any of the characters in this movie except for Michael Pena. I thought that he was the only good performance in this movie, and even though he isn't like one of the best movie roles in history, like at least he was kind of trying and kind of giving his best, and at least like he's at least one of the better parts of the movie. But everything else, like I just didn't get it. I just don't get how a movie could have been this not only bad but kind of boring for the premise that it had. Don't get me wrong, there are some enjoyable moments in this movie, but that's only like what, once every 25-30 minutes, I don't know. There are some enjoyable enjoyable moments to the movie, and we do have Michael Pena, which kind of saves the movie from being a absolute train wreck. And I kind of saw what they were trying to do with the twist in this movie. Like I think that the twist, if the way it was, like if the twist was much better executed, I honestly thought that it could at least been a least sufferable movie. but the way the twist was honestly portrayed was just it was silly and it was stupid and it was like it wasn't earned. It was just for no reason. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time talking about this movie because honestly, I forgot mainly most of the things that happen in this movie because it's just one of those movies where if you've seen a trailer, you've seen the whole movie except for the twist. But for the most part, you've seen the whole movie. You've seen the trailer, and I do not recommend Fantasy Island. Again, it not only is it a bad movie, but it's not one of those bad movies where it's so much fun to watch. It's just a straight up bad movie. Honestly, again, it's not the worst thing ever, but Fantasy Island was such a disappointment for its premise, and not only its premise, but its main leads and Blumhouse as well. But Fantasy Island was definitely a time loss, and I'm gonna give Fantasy Island a D. So yeah, don't waste your time with Fantasy Island, and I wouldn't even recommend it for a rental. Like, again, the movie did nothing like with its story, anyways, which is really I just hate it when movies have like at least a half decent premise, but they don't know what to do with it, so they just decide to do nothing at all with it. So Fantasy Island was that movie, unfortunately. I was hoping it was at least fun. It wasn't even fun. Like my audience was honestly so fucking bored watching this movie. But anyways, have you guys seen Fantasy Island? If you guys seen it, what did you guys think about it? Tell me in the comment section below. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.